Hello, this is Denise Sheehan, and I'm here to share a little bit about galactic shamans today, as that was a question that had come up from some people. And I've had this miraculously trippy path where I happen to know a lot of galactic shamans, and I feel like it's a big thing. It's a growing thing that we're starting to become more aware of, and so I wanted to share what that means for me. And as I was preparing this, I also felt a channeling come through my star families, my guides, who and that message really wanted to be shared. And so over the last couple of days, I've been scribing that. I love to channel when I journal, and so that's how this message came through. So I'm going to share that with you. And so let's get started. Okay, so what the heck is a galactic shaman? So for me, I feel like star seeds from higher density or dimensional off-world planets, many of whom were involved with seeding consciousness a long time ago on Earth, what we would call our past. And so, star seeds are a lot of people who feel like they're not around from around here and have always felt a little bit odd about being on Earth. But galactic shamans are like a subset of the star seeds, and we'll go into more depth about what distinguishes them. So galactic shamans often experience a sense of oneness and unity with the entire cosmos and understand reality to be a much broader concept than one that is earthbound or even just planetary to our solar system. So it's way, way broader. And this is really important. We are here to support Earth, humanity, and all of life to ascend into higher frequencies of expanded consciousness, to support love, peace, unity, equality, and all Earth and life honoring ways of being. It's really, truly a path of service. Some of us have been on Earth for many, many lifetimes, including the prehistory epochs like Lemuria and Atlantis and ancient Egypt and such. Um, but there are others that are much younger and newer to Earth, and they bring like a fresh galactic perspective that really helps us to transcend our habituated patterns on Earth, to see beyond the borders that have been created for so long. So those younger ones are so valuable. And we are here to call in a new dawn of co-creation, or the new paradigm, or the new earth, as it's often called. And here are some tools that I like to share to help us to awaken, to expand our realities. And then some of these have been coming through in my videos too. We find the clues to our galactic shamanic heritages through shamanic journey into our otherworldly and other earthly lives, including those in our prehistory cultures, such as Lemuria and Atlantis. We may ask our galactic guides to help heal and awaken our multidimensional DNA, which holds clues to our deepest soul wisdom, which is very valuable. And we may study indigenous wisdom traditions from around the globe, which hold uncanny similarities in their expressions, one across to the other, and which all point back to our galactic roots. So it's almost like they were seeded so long ago, and then they spread through continental drift and through our direct revelation from spirit. Like we're all listening to the same voice and learning from the same source. And so I feel like more star seeds than we can imagine are also galactic shamans. And the word shaman has been misused and misconstrued so often that many don't know to even look into the meaning, let alone apply it to themselves. Shamans support the health of our communities in so many ways. We have a sense of calling, and often we face mysterious health and other life challenges that prepare us for our life's work. And if this feels like it may be you, I see you. And I'm wondering, do we have any others that feel like they may be galactic shamans here? And I'd love for us to say hi below and maybe share how that looks and feels for you or what resonates with you. Because what I really love to do is to build communities of loving support where we can feel free to be ourselves and to share with one another so that we don't have to operate in so much isolation. And yeah, I feel like it's a really beautiful opportunity to come together. So, with that, I would love to share this message that came through for these times that we're experiencing right now. It's very complex times. And I felt like this wisdom really held so much comfort and meaning for me. And I hope that it does for you too. But as always, I welcome you to accept what calls to your heart and let go of whatever doesn't resonate with you. I have no attachments whatsoever. But perhaps you'll find some comfort in this too. So I feel called to share. So, my guides, they say, dearest star seeds, we are always wanting to welcome you home to our hearts, to hold you close enough to help you to remember your place here, and how courageously you chose to be here on earth in service to humanity at this time. Of course, many of you have had many exit points through health crises or other threats where you could have chosen another path of service from a non-physical state. But you fiercely chose to exist in this form, to see your path through to completion, and we are in awe of your commitment and bravery. We know that the heat, so to speak, on your planet is dialed way up and into the unbearable zone for many of you who perceive that your loving cultures of honoring, respect, and unity are threatened or dying. Many assume that things are broken beyond repair. We are not here to save you, but we exist amongst you for support during these times of transformation. We do not offer to be saviors, for that would be like carrying a toddler to prevent them from the hardship of learning how to walk. You are here for something so much greater than you could ever know, and everything in your world is now set up for you to see and to grow. We wish now to illuminate the role of cycles as they have always existed on Earth. The energies and astrologies of these times are similar to those of the French and the American revolutions, which brought the birthing of democracy, a bright new shining hope for a new world, where equality served as an ideal, but was implemented rather poorly. You have been taught and conditioned to value democracy as an enduring right, even though it has actually been threatened and compromised for many years. You have never known it in its highest expression. What if that expression were being birthed now? It may boggle the imagination, and we don't ask you to believe, but only to be open to the possibility. How would you uniquely step into that future? And just as an aside from me for a moment, feeling into the pitfalls of so-called democracy and the illusion of equality when actually it was not implemented with equality at all, and especially people of color and also women can attest to that. So I feel like there's a lot of room to grow in the expression of democracy. And a lot of those traumas are carried over into this now, as we're seeing. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see how we bring it about better. Okay, back to my stars, my star guides. So the real revolution is spiritual, though it is being grounded on the political playing field, where all the societal structures are shaken to see what withstands the stress. What is weak, what has been tended non-organically, will surely fall away, like the pruning of a tree in the autumn to make way for a splendid bloom in the spring. Now, We are not political and not supportive of what appears to you to be threats to democracy. But we are able to see from a higher vantage point without the fears that come from having human egos and the perceived need for survival. And so we are able to remain more hopeful for the evolutionary process you are witnessing from in the trenches. Though we do acknowledge how unsettling all this is for the human ego, we also perceive a measure of utility for you there as well. This process births a necessary space of introspection and reflection for each person around what in life matters the most. Focus shifts from the superficial to the deeply meaningful, from scarcity to gratitude, from isolation to connection, and from slumber to awakening. Never before have people been awakening so quickly. Our hearts leap with joy and gratitude. We honor the aspect of your human experience that allows you so much free will and creative liberty in how you interpret your world. Of course, this also creates chaos and confusion. We know that you feel much division these days, but you all are much more unified than you imagine, with many routes to what you feel is the truth of your day and the potential. With the exception of relatively few power players and oligarchs, you all share a certain inevitable surrender into the process, with a need to trust more and to fear less, to love more and to separate and isolate less. It's challenging, in large part because of the messaging through your media and social media, as you know. It would be helpful, perhaps, to realize that all memes and stories presented as truth are but a portion of the larger picture, generally meant to influence or manipulate thought amongst the masses. Many are created specifically to support hidden agendas, but are adopted as simple truths that can be held tightly and righteously. In order to find peace within, breaking away from or limiting exposure to such messages are a healthy remedy to consider. We recommend that you choose your exposure mindfully, for the conflicting voices could cause actual harm to your nervous systems and psyche. Will you choose sources and choice? I'm sorry. Will you choose sources and voices that harm, or those that heal, empower, and inspire you? Discernment is essential as we see it. Your vulnerability lies in your ego's desires to know more and more information in order to create a false sense of safety. That's fallacy, however. No matter how much time you spend gathering knowledge, you can never know the totality of the truth. There are no guarantees of safety, not ever in life. But the more you support yourself in accessing your heart's intuitive wisdom, the more likely you are to find safe harbors in the storms of life. Wisdom is found through meditation, quiet reflection, dreams, intuitive nudges, and even trusted others who speak to our hearts of knowing, who support our empowerment and sovereignty. In each moment of the day, you have the power to choose how to feed your soul and hearts of wisdom by the ways that you choose to feed your body and your minds. As part of your soul work, we would encourage you to try to honor those with conflicting beliefs, even if you don't understand where they came from. As you let go of judgment, we can accept and integrate our feelings around them, around others. Our evolutionary impulse is to rise above polarity, which is like right versus wrong or us versus them type thinking, for example. When we release polarity, we become more open to experiencing the world from the central perspective, where we perceive more complete and broader vistas of awareness. Every judgment and every expression of hate and fear contributes even more to the collective chaos. When we rise above it, our experience of the mess we're in shifts to acceptance and creativity, plus heart consciousness. At the same time, we are not encouraging compliance where you feel lack of alignment. Your voices and action are needed in these times, especially where you cultivate a balance of balanced energy and sharing and where you feel aligned with the truth of your heart. So, beloveds, we know many, but not all of you feel uncertain, fearful, and a little lost in the navigation of these tumultuous times. But the new world we are building is based on a higher dimension or density, as you well know. The past decades have offered so many clearings and healings, plus infusions of galactic light codes on Earth. More and more of these gifts are showing up now and accessible to more and more people. Change is happening more quickly than ever before. Uncomfortable, yes, but also dramatically supported energetically. Even missteps on the world stage can have amazingly powerful positive influences because the trajectory is set for love by divine design. Let's pause here and take that in. Your trajectory is set for love by divine design. Of course, there is free will on your planet, but there is also an expanding wave of consciousness that is infinitely more influential than any social media meme could ever be. So, what is one small shift you can make today that honors your intuitive knowing to better care for yourself? And how do these messages land for you, if at all? And we welcome you to share your ideas in the comments so we may learn and grow together. I want to thank you with all my heart for joining us for this message today. So much love and so much gratitude for you and your sharing of your light in the world with all my love.